Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ask the Accountant, episode 171. It is the no, it's not the 2nd of February. Who didn't update the notes properly? What is it, the 9th of February? Oh, dear.
That's 4 mistakes.
Stick to the script, Johann. Stay on the script, Johann. It will keep you right, Johann. It's the 9th of February, and I am not Aaron, the main host either. I'm Johann, the main host today. And joining me, as always, is Mr. Aaron Patrick. We'll come to him in a moment. Before we get started on these episodes, we like to get the script right, Aaron. But more importantly, we like to welcome everybody. And speaking of important people, we like to welcome our Patreon community. So our Patreon community is our coolest of cool listeners who help support the channel and all the content we create. We have Mr. Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Paul Whitehouse, Kirsty St. John, Mahul, and Millie. Thank you for your continued support. To show your support for our channel and content, while also getting some bonus content and an opportunity to be on the coveted list of names, you can join our Patreon page via the links below. You completely threw me there. You ruined my day. Not only is the date wrong, I'm not even called Aaron.
My wrist.
Aaron, anyway, other than not doing the script right, how are you and how's your weekend been?
I'm having a mare with the intros at the moment, aren't I? Like, for anyone who didn't see QuickBooks Labs, just didn't bother playing the intro. We just stood there like melons. Like, surely you should have an intro now. Very good, thank you. Very good. We went to the weekend wise. We went to. How do I do this without butchering the accent? Bab. We went to the old Black Country Museum. Why? No, wait, that's Geordie. I went to
that's
Birmingham.
Very different, yeah. I think before we do a public apology to anybody, we just stop doing accents.
I was close enough. I mean, if Marcus is around, can he let me know how I did out of 10? It's his neck of the woods, isn't it? But it was they were doing a trial where they were letting doggies at the Black Country Museum. So anyone who doesn't know, Black Country Museum is like a historical museum where they transport you back in time to the oldie days, etc., etc., etc. I mean, my favourite quote was from Chrissy, who went, "This is a lot like Disneyland, this," when we're walking down Main Street type area. And I'm like, you sure? It's not what I remember.
The locals would have called it back then, but okay.
Because she said, "Oh, the only thing was missing is parades," and I'm thinking, well, the only parade would have is like picketing fence people walking around on strike, right? Like, what else we got? But no, it was the opportunity to take the dog around, which I thought was interesting, like giving the chance to go around there and all that sort of stuff. And we went and bought, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, bought ourselves a brand new motor vehicle as well. So the idea was to just turn up. Like pick the car and then go again. We left at like 8 o'clock in the morning or something daft. Got there and then left to get home, and we didn't get home till like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. How has car buying been such a long, laborious exercise these days? But hey, you got to do it. You got to do it. So fingers crossed. What do you call it? So fingers crossed we'll have a new car this time next week. Hopefully. We can talk about it next week then, can't we? But yeah, what about yourself? You had a good week, good weekend?
I had a work from home week last week, which was nice. I was in Glasgow, which isn't very nice.
How was that work from home?
I went to Glasgow Friday night to watch Maximo Park. Claire likes Maximo Park, so we go quite a few times.
Yeah.
So yeah. You'd have thought for a band that's been touring for 25 years, they've nailed the audio levels by now. Nope. No, terrible, but never mind. Claire had a good time, and that's what's important.
Good.
And I tested the soundproofness of my Apple AirPods 3 whilst I sat and watched an episode of Detective Frost in the gig. So yeah, I was quite happy. By the way, soundproofing on AirPods 3, brilliant.
Oh, I can just see all the memes now. You're that guy. Good episode, bad episode. Rate it
Anyway.
10.
Oh, and then I finished doing my paneling yesterday. So
Look good.
got that done.
Does
I
look good.
got told off by Andy Wainwright for only doing half a job last week. I pointed out I ran out of time.
Does he
He's
have a
like,
little
"No."
genie then that starts like gives him extra time whenever he needs it? Is that Andy's secret sauce?
Andy's got an Ash and Johann that makes sure things are done on time.
Oh right, okay, fair play. Touche.
But yeah. So yeah, no, got my paneling done. I'm very pleased with it. I'm very happy with the finishing product.
Good. Although,
So,
what's happening with the unicorns? So everyone's been asking about it. You know, are they being rationed off, or like what's the plan?
they're still behind there.
Oh, sorry, people.
But
I did
didn't
try.
glue it. I didn't glue it. I screwed it in. So actually, when you take the panels off, it's almost good as new. You just have to ignore the line of screws along the top, the middle, and the bottom.
So 500th episode, you're happy to take the panel back down, grab
Cut
some
off
of the
the unicorn.
Yeah. And not made a meal out of it, but it's fine. It's fine. It's still there.
Yeah, right. And as always, we are nothing if we're not here for our community on a Monday morning. So let's go from top to bottom. Good morning to Cheryl, 8:30 on the dot. Good morning. There is more, says, good morning, everyone, at 8:30, promptly behind Cheryl, followed by Kirsty saying, good morning, everyone. Happy birthday to Aaron. February is the best month for birthdays. Is it your birthday, Aaron?
It's not my birthday, Kirsty. It's my birthday month, so I'll give you that. But it's not my birthday. I'll keep you guessing when it is. I'll keep you guessing.
I was going to say, we were just saying offline that we don't really celebrate birthdays at this age.
I'll give you a clue, though. I share my birthday with someone very important to Kirsty. I'll give her that as a clue. You've
not got the same birthday as me.
There is other people in Kirsty's life. Yeah, and other people get it.
NGB accountant says, good morning. Good morning to you. Mahul says, good morning, everyone from cloudy London. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Good morning, Mahul. Susanna says, morning all. Morning. Juliet says, morning, everyone. Paul Whitehouse says, morning all. Lisa says, good morning. Susanna says, morning. Stephanie is here saying, morning, gents. And Paul Whitehouse says, farewell, Nick Williams. He will be missed. If you've missed the QuickBooks episode, we're not covering that news this week because it was covered in the QuickBooks Labs episode last week, where Aaron and Simon paid tribute to Nick and his career achievements. So go back and watch that. Tim says, good morning. Good morning, Tim. Tim went to the Black Country Museum in like year 6 at school, and some kid from another group fell in the canal.
That was a one random.
Was it a museum back then, or was it just the Black Country?
The one random rule though with the dogs was like, you're not allowed in buildings, which I kind of understand, but kind of ruin the experience for us, right? But it's fine. Like I get it, right? There's reasons for it. And then the other rule is no dogs allowed in the canal. I'm like, have you seen the Birmingham canals? Do you think I'm going to let her in there? You're safe on that one.
Mahal says, Nick Williams shared a table with me in 2024 Luca Awards, sitting next to me. Paul Ingram says, good morning. Good morning. Stephanie is missing the unicorns already. And Laura says,
one unicorn like on there or something. No, not a
it's
chance.
too late now.
Well, yeah, no, but you could put like frame it for a frame.
Should I get a neon unicorn head and just put that to the wall?
Just reach out to Steph's goal the other day. Reach out to her. She'll tell you what to do.
Laura McCarthy, good morning. Late, I know, but made it in the end. Yeah, you're 7 minutes late. We've had worse. Don't you worry. And Stephanie says 2 weeks yet.
2 weeks. Oh, maybe Formula One testing. No, that's next week. There'll be something Formula One related.
No, it's 3 weeks until Formula One. Oh, that is also what I did over the weekend. I sat and gloated about how badly Scotland lost and how well England won in the Six Nations. So
I was wondering where this was related to. Okay. We can't read that one out, so give it away. So let's go to this next one.
Right. Kirsty says, glad you made it, Laura. Brilliant. Right. Let's get into it. Let's get into our topics for the week.
Yes. Yes.
First of all, we need to go to Mr. Aaron Patrick, who's got a public apology to make.
Wait. Let me get my apology corner up. Although we don't have one for what you got. Oh, there's a new feature now. I can put it on a timer. Oh,
Oh
bear with
God,
me.
this is going to go well.
Bear with me, team. Oh no, that broke. Okay, I won't be doing that. We'll just click on the little button that comes up. Yeah, look. Sometimes you got to admit when you're wrong, right? Sometimes you've got to stand there, be the bigger person, and say, "Look, I got this horribly wrong."
Are we talking about QuickBooks bank reconciliation versus Xero?
Not a chance. No, I got that 100% right. But sometimes you've got to sit there and you've got to go, you've been told about this time and time again, but is it what's the phrase? What am I thinking of it that stops me from doing? Is it ego? Is it spite? I don't know. There's something there, isn't there, that holds you back from actually doing the right thing and making sure you put the right step forward. And for anyone who doesn't know, I'm talking about Claude AI, which a certain person on this panel has been talking about, what, a year now, 2 years?
Well, I had to renew my annual subscription last month, so yes, a year and a bit.
A year and a bit, yeah. So I've been sat here listening to Johann talking about Claude and like, oh yeah, it can't be that good, crikey. I mean, look, it's just an AI note-taking tool. What's so special about it? Until I moved to my new practice. And the thing I've been using and realized I've been using is I've been trying to make all of these other AIs do what Claude does, right? So I've been trying to make Microsoft Copilot be my one note-taking tool of choice, which is fine. When you're in a Teams meeting, is fine. When you do a in-person event, you can set a Teams meeting up and play it out loud, and it kind of records it. Yeah. I see your face, right? But it recorded those meeting notes, right? And then if I had a telephone call, despite me paying an extortionate fee to Microsoft to let me do telephone calls through Teams, I'm not talking a Teams call, I'm actually a physical mobile call, telephone call through Teams, you'd expect me to be able to record those meetings as well, wouldn't you? I mean, that seems logical, seems sensible. Nah, not with Microsoft. So for me to record those calls, I had to have 2 devices. I had to sign into 2 different Microsoft accounts. And I had to blare the meeting out loud, on speakerphone, so that then I could put the other device into, meeting mode and record the meeting that way. And that has been my workaround for the past year and a bit, right? Like it's mental. Come to a new practice. I don't have the luxury of having my own, studio that I have just by myself. I'm sharing an office with my wife, right? So I can't just sit there blaring the conversation out. So I wasn't able to do that. So I did think that that's what you said Claude did really well. I thought, you know what? Let's give it a go. Let's trial it. What's the worst that can happen, sort of thing. So when I should have used your referral fee, that's my first apology, right? Like I should have. You've spoke about it enough. The least I could have done was give you your 20p or whatever you're going to get from it. But I forgot about that. Just went and bought it, and it arrived. And I must admit, the hardware very, very swanky, very nice, very good. I don't know how much I'm going to use this Pro thing. And for anyone who doesn't know this, I'm sure you've seen, this attached to the back of your phone and it's always there with you, right? You have to keep it charged and all this sort of stuff. And that. Hardware, fine, great. The software, though, and I know you said it got released, 3 months ago, something like that, something along those lines, wasn't it? The software for note taking is extraordinary. Like, honestly, going from whatever you were trying to use, because I've tried to use ChatGPT, I've tried to use Gemini, I've tried to use Google, all of them, they work, but you kind of got to make them work, right? You got to learn how to use them. You got to learn how to incorporate them into your meetings and all that sort of stuff. This, you install it, you say you've got one of the device hardware. So that's my only slight frustration of it. You have to buy hardware to get this software to work, but they've got to make money somehow, right? But as soon as you got through that malarkey, this software can install on any device, and it just works. I've got it set to auto record. So as long as you make sure you be sensible about this, make sure you be, you get the authority of whoever you're talking to record the meetings, all that sort of stuff. Like, make sure you're doing that. But if you can build that into it, which I've already had to do anyway, so I'm used to that now. It's part of my spiel when I set up a meeting, right? But as long as you got that, this now records automatically, and that brilliant. The AI transcript, amazing, because I even jumped on Insta360s and I've paid for their special note-taking app that only uses one device, right? So literally it's this, I'm paying an annual subscription for one device to be able to take notes. But this can connect to that, and it does everything that 361 can do as well. Honestly, I owe you a massive apology. I should have been on this a long time ago. And I'll tell you my other favorite thing about it is because it's a separate app. And first I was like, well, why would I want a separate app just to do that? Because to me, I was like, I'm getting app overload anyway. Like, I'm having all these different apps installed, blah, 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 blah. But actually, having one app where all your meetings are just sat there, almost waiting there, like a little bit of a checklist for you. And then, like, I think you've said before, like, you'll go to the end of the day and you'll just kind of go through them and move them to place. Brilliant. And I think what you do then is you actually action them, right? If it was in a position where it automatically went to Engager, for example, I think I'd actually lose out on that. I think that's a feature I think we all love the idea of, but there's something about you physically taking that note and physically putting it into somewhere that you go, oh, I was supposed to email so-and-so about this, or the follow-on was this. Right? Do you know what I mean? Like, it forces you to actually do things. And having a separate app now, which is my meetings app, and I do 10 meetings a day easily, right? Like just to have that at the end of the day and go through and go, oh yeah, and then just actually action them. Wonderful. Like, honestly, out of all of the app subscriptions I'm doing at the moment, all of the things, this is an instant renewal, and I'd recommend it to everyone. So my public apology is I should have listened to Johann sooner.
I've been saying it for years. You will find uses for the device itself over time. Like when you go to the QuickBooks Council and you sit there and just record the meeting, so you've got it all done. When you go to conferences and you go and attend a speaking session, like when you speak on stage. So that both of my books that I've written, the foundations of both of them are from me recording on the Plord, speaking sessions that I've given, webinars, podcasts that I've done, because that's where the insights naturally come out.
Yeah.
Whereas if you sat there trying to write a book or blog or something, I find actually it doesn't help anybody. Like I really have to force myself to think about it. It's not natural. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Whereas when you've got all those recordings, you've already got the drafts of most of your chapters there. And that's how, like, so I'm down south again this week doing some speaking for a business coach about acquisitions. I'll record that session, and that will probably create 3 or 4 new blogs for our website, etc. The more now you've got it, the more uses you'll find for it.
Yeah. And I know, I don't know if you want to mention that Paul says, I don't know if you want to bring that one in. Where is it? That one. Do you want to take it?
Yeah, so seeing a lot of Plord type devices on Facebook, including one that's a pen instead of a card. Yeah, there is a lot out there. I keep looking at them all just to see what's happening, but none of them have got the software behind them.
And that's what I was going to say. Yeah, and that's what's blown me away, because again, I mean, I've got access. It's ridiculous, right? Because I've got I pay for a subscription for ChatGPT. I've got this Insta360 subscription now, which will never get renewed. I've got my Copilot from Microsoft. I've got my Gemini one, right? So I'm already kind of in those ecosystems and everything else. But it's night and day bad. Like, just the little things, like I'm having a meeting. I've told it that, so and so speaking, and it already knows I'm speaking, right? It's learnt my voice already and learnt that in day one. But it knows that there's other people there. You tell it once that it's a person like Amy or Jack or John or James or whatever it's going to be, right? You tell it once, 9 times out of 10, it remembers that for the rest of time. Like, well, it seems to be with mine, right? Whereas in my other software,
Yep.
especially that Insta360 one, if I say, oh, at the end of a meeting, because what Insta360 nailed and what this does as well, which I'm impressed with, is that meeting where you got multiple people in a room. Like, you're sat there in this massive room and you're, the boardroom and the title thing. And in Insta360 world, it will come up speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3, speaker. It doesn't even know my name, right? Blah, 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 blah. And you'll go and say, oh, speaker 1 was so and so, speaker 2 was so and so, speaker 3 was so and so, speaker 4 was so and so. Then you have to press re-analyze or re-AI or whatever the term is that they've got. And then I have to go through the whole thing again and using up your minutes that you've paid for, that's part of your subscription, all that sort of stuff, and having to spend time to do it and resources to do it, etc., to then put the names in. Like, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Whereas Claude, you change once and it just goes, oh, do you want to change all of these? Yeah, tick a little box, boom, done. And that's it then, isn't it? That's the whole process of learning people's names. And it sounds so trivial, but that saves so much more time. It's those sort of barrier of entries or barriers that get put up that stops you using them in the first place, isn't it? It stops you going, you know what? This is why I'm using this. And it's clever enough to say, like, what type of industry you're in. So it will start putting the right terminology in places and start to things like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, again, that software side, they nailed. And maybe over time, one of the others will get better or whatever, and everything it. But I'll go back to that point that actually having it as a separate software is a huge boom. Like that's something I didn't think I needed in my workflow. And in a world where we're trying to consolidate and integrate everything else, actually, I think it's working quite well. My only one thing I've not been able to replicate that I liked on Microsoft was that if I'm in a meeting, because it was connected to the calendar, I could then generate the notes for it, and it all kept it in that one area. So I don't know if there's any calendar integration coming or something like that, but I think that's all it's missing. It's like
it's got a Zapier connection.
Yeah.
So you might be able to build something out where I've finished this meeting. On the completion of the transcription of the notes, put it into find the meeting or something. I don't know. It could do something like that. In theory.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, because I looked at who was it? HiDoc.
Oh,
so
yes.
A company called HiDoc. They had like a docking station.
Yeah.
Had a docking station. It auto-recorded all your meetings. The software was awful. You had to rename everyone every time, etc. It would only entitle the recording if you linked it to your calendar to save the meeting title from there, but it didn't then put the notes into the meeting note. The software just let it down. Great hardware, but the software just let it down. Whereas Claude, the software is leaps and bounds ahead. And Alexis says the leaps forward on tools like this for note taking is amazing, and we're only just at the beginning. If you like the AI note taker, you'll be blown away with what's now possible in Claude Cowork. I've been retesting the newest model heavily over the last few days and built a 100% AI accountancy practice, part parody, part experiment in 4 hours. See, I was playing with Claude over the last week. It was so slow.
Oh, really?
Could not read a PDF set of accounts to save its bloody life. So I need to have a play around at different use cases more and stuff. But yeah, I had a look at it because of all the hype in the last few weeks for it.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed by its pace. But I know the Cowork one does some great things on your computer and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah. I think that whole building is exactly what I'm doing as well in the ChatGPT world. And the capabilities about, and we'll talk about it more in the next topic. I think it's the next topic we're coming up to. Yeah, it is. Yeah. But that yeah, sorry. You're the master of segues, so I'm sure you'll pull another one out your bag. But yeah, that whole idea of like building those agents and putting through from there, you're right. Like Alexis is absolutely right. That we're just scraping the surface of that. We're just bringing that in. But I do feel like and finding the right tool for the right job. That's definitely something in the past we always used to like. We were like laser focused on doing it, weren't we? Like we had a conversation before this about the right payroll platform for our practices, right? we're so focused on finding the right tool for that. For some reason, and maybe it's just a me problem. I've got to get myself out of this habit. But I'm always seeing every AI tool as the master of everything, right? But they're not, right? They're all designed for those little nuances of doing little things differently and little things better, right? And I feel like that's one thing we've got to learn from this is how to figure out the right one. But on my flip side, I'm like, do we though? Because the pace of change is so quick at the moment that if you like go, well, this tool's best for this one and this tool's best for that one, and then that's what you're using within time, I'm sure feature parity will hit, right? And then
within weeks.
yeah,
It's not even years or months anymore. It's within weeks. There's new releases and stuff. So yeah,
exactly.
But speaking of AI,
go for it.
That brings us on to our next topic of Genesis AI. Tudush.
6 out of 10.
Thanks. For anyone that's not seen the news, unfortunately, Genesis AI is up for sale. It is at their words, a distressed sale. They are basically what they're doing is pre-packing to try and sell it through insolvency practitioners, basically. So from what we can understand, well, context first. So Genesis AI was going to be this big AI bookkeeping tool. It was going to do all your bookkeeping and bank reconciliation through AI. Last time we spoke to the lot of offshoring going on, and in turn, that offshoring taught the AI for future use, which, yeah, interesting model. But they basically raised £3 million. One of their investors has basically pulled out or is no longer investing or is in trouble themselves. They're a bit elusive around that bit, which led to all the other investors saying, in which case we're pulling out as well. So they didn't have the cash reserves to continue operations. So they're up for sale. They're hoping to sell in a quick sale to look after the staff and the current users. But they have also advised the current users to start finding alternative providers and alternative solutions, which, doing a bit of M&A work myself, if I was looking at a company where they'd already advised all the customers to start looking elsewhere, I don't think I'd be overly interested in buying the business. Just a thought. But yeah, so they had about 120 firms across Canada, US, and the UK using them at one point. But yeah, it's not worked out for them. Aaron, what are your thoughts? Obviously, you've spoken to them in the past at events and stuff. Any thoughts? Yeah. Any lessons to be learned?
I think my obviously the initial thought is bad news for the industry in terms of job losses and everything else by the sounds. But we don't know for certain. Like, hopefully a buyer comes in, but if it doesn't go that way, that's really bad news, isn't it? And for the users as well, because I know there are some real good advocates for what it was doing and everything else. My thought on this is that it was going to be a really tough ask for anyone to come along and do this, right? I did a video this weekend that gets released on Tuesday, which was Xero's new auto reconciliation. For anyone listening audio, I'm using quotation marks for that one. But Xero's auto reconciliation, so their new AI inspired adding transactions from your bank account to TDLR. Brilliant, like really, really good, like really good approach to it. Really impressed with what's happening there, right? And then you've got QuickBooks and Intuit who've done their auto categorization solution with QuickBooks Sole Trader, and then they've got their new Intuit AI and doing that. So the FMS solutions are already building up to this. They're already getting us a auto categorization solution, which is what Genesis effectively was trying to replicate, right? When we're in a world where these solutions are getting more and more expensive, we kind of need to use every feature that they've got and every solution they've got, even if something might be able to do it 20% better. Or do you know what I mean? Like we used to be in a world where if something could do 20% better, it was worthwhile the investment, and we'll plow our resources into it. We'll get it because we'll get the efficiencies, right? We've kind of got to grab whatever we got. We've got to get every piece of juice out of it. You know, that metaphor of trying to get every piece of juice out of your fruit. And I feel like that's what we've got to do with all of our solutions now, right? We've got to be using them. So having a solution that can just do something a little bit better or can add a little bit more to it, I'm not sure is enough at this point in time, because the prices of those solutions are so high. And then you look at some of the new people to the block. So I've been doing some research on Digits and Kick that are in the US. They're AI first, AI auto, adding AI auto categorization from the day one, built from scratch. And like, without ruining the video that I just did, that's the one tiny bit that is always going to hold back Intuit, always going to hold back Xero. They've got to build on legacy platforms to get to these places, right? Whereas these new people to the block, when they can just build from the ground up, and like Alexis was saying, like you can literally build it in 4 hours. Like, okay, maybe not quite that, but the pace of development is so much better now and so much quicker because we've got these AI infrastructures going there, that a solution that just adds on to and just connects to these ones is going to be really difficult. And then finally, like I've been generally building AI agents in ChatGPT that can do what Genesis was doing, right? And that's me. And I'm not an expert at coding. I'm not an expert in AI. I'm not an expert in any of those. I just, like a bit of tech, right? And I can talk about tech. That's as far as my expertise goes. Yeah, I'm at a competent enough level to build those solutions that basically Genesis was providing. And I think that's where, for me, the conversation almost stops, doesn't it? Like, because you've got to then put a price point on what Genesis was building. Then you as a firm owner, we've got to see, well, what does that compare to what either I could build myself or what the solution's already providing, and what what the new boys are bringing to the table. Like, you've got to do a cost analysis of there. And I don't know when a solution like Genesis wins in that conversation. I can't figure out, when you're doing your fancy mind maps and stuff, how that intersect for Genesis is there. And I think that is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller at this point in time, which is a shame, because we love the competition, don't we? We love the aspect of it. We love the idea of it. But I think bringing that to the table at this point in time, timing just wasn't right for them, was it?
No, I think the FMS solutions out there kind of moved quicker than they probably anticipated.
Yeah.
That they needed to move quick, so before the FMS solutions, because they didn't have the raw data. They were using offshoring to create the raw data, generate the categorization, to teach the model. QuickBooks, Sage, Xero, they've got years of hundreds of thousands of companies' raw data to teach their models with. So it was always going to be, we need to get ahead of the game here. We need to be delivering this before the FMS solutions get in there. We need to get people sticky. And they just, didn't get there, I don't think. So, and it's another new software. Do people adopt new software slower? So they don't like to always be early adopters and stuff. So it is a shame, because it's innovation, it's ideas, it's stuff like that now missing from the market. But they got Sherlocked ultimately by the big boys, who went, we've already got the data for this, we can do it in half the time.
I mean, my one pushback to that I know they had a chance to bring to the table, and hopefully something else can do this, right, is this idea that you've just said there. They've got all this data to learn from. Completely understand and completely get that. But my nervousness is that the data we should be learning from? Like Intuit, Xero, Jackson, Copilot, Sage Copilot, all that. I don't think we want them to learn from 10 years worth of historical data for every single business in the whole entire world, right? I don't think that's where we want to be learning these models going forward. In my ideal state world, I want it to learn from my firm. And I want it to just go to my firm and go, every time we see this transaction, we want it here. Every time we see this transaction, we want it. But that to me is the secret sauce, right? And if Genesis could, like, Phoenix from the ground and Phoenix from the flames, and again, we're not saying it's over, but it writing's on the wall, right? But if there's anything it could learn from this, what I would love it to learn is to go, right, let's laser focus on your firm. Maybe Kick is what you're thinking, because I know Kick's really gone down that route of
Yes. So Kick in the
yeah,
US, phenomenal bit of kit. I'm really hoping they do bring something to the UK. I don't know if it's too early though. But they go, right, how does the firm categorize this transaction?
yeah.
How's the client then how do other clients in the firm categorize this transaction? And only then does it go to the wider pool of data. So it works out from the top, kind of it fans out until it's got its answer, which is I think is a very clever concept.
And mine's very rudimental, but the way I've been doing it's gone, right, well, if my AI agent's made a change, it updates this spreadsheet so a human can like amend it and change it and everything else. And I feel like that nothing as rudimental as that. Let's move away from spreadsheet. But if we can have a way of like, let's give us a tool to teach our own firm-wide Jax or Intuit Assist or Sage Copilot, whatever our solution is, right? And let's figure out how to teach that, because I think that's what we need. Is we need a tool to help us teach our AI how we want it to work for our firm, because then we're starting to add value, then, aren't we? Like, why would a client want to go with this accountant over that accountant, or this bookkeeper over that bookkeeper, right? Oh, it's because they fine tune their AI to work with my industry, right? And then it gives us something to add value when we're trying to entice a client over to us, because we're not just going, oh, well, we've just let the AI do it and it's done its job. Great, wonderful. It's we've let the AI, we're experts in understanding what the AI has done. That's going to be a skill set we're going to have to start pushing forward going forward, right? That we can work with this AI and help with this AI. But also, our AI model is superior at this set of client base because that's what our clients are, right? I feel like that's the conversation topic going forward when we're trying to win clients. And I feel like we just need a tool to help us be able to deliver that idea.
Definitely. So moving on and talking of things that are shutting down, BTC, I think we covered this a few months ago. BTC are shutting down their software this year. But they put an email out on Friday about, sorry, not on Friday. They put an email out last week to their BTC users, and it seems to have taken a few of them by surprise. So the email from BTC to their users was a reminder that we're shutting down at the end of this year. You need to, now's a good time to migrate before you start doing all your tax returns and stuff. And naturally, BTC being owned by Bright, it's a big push towards Bright tax and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But people seem to have got caught out, and they don't seem to have got the original message from this. And this reminder is their first one. So it's been an interesting week on the socials. And at Tax Calc, we get wind of this stuff when people make inquiries and stuff like that. But yeah, are accountants particularly bad at checking emails and keeping up to date with what their softwares are doing? I know I am.
I mean, what's Fixer AI told you this week that you've got to keep an eye on? Do you know what I mean? Like, we are reliant now on our AI tools to tell us what's going on with our emails, because we're getting so much, we're inundated, right? I would say though, with this one, what surprises me about this is, and look, I'm outside looking in on this, and I'm only going by what I've seen and experienced. So maybe I've got this completely wrong, and maybe I need to do an apology corner later. But for me, I saw this as the original, or the Bright tax module, or the Bright tax solution is basically the desktop version in the cloud, which rightly or wrongly, well, it put me off. But full transparency, that's why I considered it. I looked at it. I was, open to making a change back in the day. But the fact that they just replicated the old desktop into the cloud just wasn't for me, right? Like it was clunky in my opinion. Like, it didn't work for me. I didn't want to relearn how to do it just for the sake of relearning into the cloud. But my point that I made at the time was like, well, that means I'm not interested in it, and I won't be looking to move over, but actually for the existing users, it's exactly what they needed and exactly what they probably wanted, because they just wanted the same, right? They wanted the same solution to be in the cloud. So it's interesting that they've kind of gone down this route of going, you know what, we're going to build this this BTC. Oh, Johann's gone. I hope it was Johann gone and not I'm gone. Just making sure if someone can let me know that it is me that's still talking and not Johann that's there. And what we'll do is we will go through the chats. If I can take my little face off. Coming forward. Okay. So they've moved where I actually take the thing off. Comments. Yeah, you're okay. You're on gone. Thanks for that, Kirsty. Let's go through chats then. Alexa says we can hop on a call and I'll show you how to do it. Says that one. Yep. Yeah, Kirsty. This I'm trying to turn this bit off, but for some reason on they've changed everything around, and now I don't have that feature to do. Oh, here we go. There it is. There we are. We got now. Cool. Yeah. So now you've not got that one there. So Alexa says the goal in speed of response with Claude Cowork. It's about parallel. His Mac Mini died. What? Johann's Mac Mini died, so that's why he's not here. The goal isn't speed of response with Claude Cowork. It's about parallel leverage. Interesting. And I think that this back to my point about trying to make sure that that we get the right tool for the right job, right? Claude Note and software is brilliant, says AIM Accountants. I've been using Note Pro for the couple of months. Game changer. Currently, they have a 20% off Valentine discount on Note Pin. You know what? I've been thinking, do I need to get the Note Pin as well? Is that part of my ecosystem I need going forward? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's what I need to go for. But yeah, if you do jump on that Valentine's Day Pro, then do let us know. That deal goes there. Alexa's got to run, but love the conversation. Thanks. No, thank you, Alexis, for joining in. That's been brilliant. Kirsty says you're okay, thanks. And Johann froze, says Paul. Okay, so wait for Johann to come back, leaving me high and dry. But yeah, finishing off on that BTC. As Paul says, notice people still miss the legacy change for Engager until the payment changed. Yes, yeah. That's another part that's come of the thing at the moment, hasn't it? Go for that. Look, BTC shutting down. I'm shocked that that's become such a topic when it felt like they were doing everything to keep their legacy customers happy, and it just shows, doesn't it, that actually keeping your legacy customers happy isn't easy in any prospect at all. Like, legacy customers will always find a reason to be frustrated. Oh, here he is. Hello, sir. So your Mac Mini died.
It's like an oven under there. Atlas.
Oh no.
Atlas AI Atlas browser suddenly wanted like 18 gigs worth of RAM, and then everything else wanted loads of RAM, and then it just went, and I'm frozen. It's like, okay, might need to restart it. I really ought to restart it more often, but hey ho. Yeah. I'm back. Sorry about that.
Thing.
Desktop solutions, right? This is the challenge with desktop: is people love desktop. If they love it, they love it. And a lot of software companies are very much all or nothing. Like, we're either desktop or we're cloud. No one's giving the desktop solution guys an option. Like, no, you've got to be on cloud. But that's why, like, so TaxCalc, we are going to go to cloud with TaxCalc, but we have
committed to what, though? We're all in suspense. Committed to what, says Johann. Oh, crikey. I mean, I do you know what I feel more sorry about is the Mac Mini. I just feel like it deserves more. It deserves more to be stuck under a table and and being burnt alive. We have says Steph. Yeah, I mean, we're all in suspense now. What are they committing? Maybe we should do a straw poll of exactly what it is that they're committed to. Maybe we should figure out exactly what it is that we think they're committed to. You know what? I'll tell you what. While we get Johann in, I'm gonna pull up some beef that we've got with another podcast going forward. So I think this is the right time to do this, right? So another podcast, Digital Tools in a Cruel World, or Digital Trolls in a Cruel World, as they could be known now, called me out, and they thought they got away with it. So I'm going to play to you what they said, and we can talk about what it is. Right, listen to this.
Flexibility to do some of this, especially with what I still think is an amazing auto reconcile. Sorry, Aaron, Patrick, I call it reconcile allocation, auto allocation system inside Xero.
He just needs to get over himself.
You know, it's terminology. I don't care. To me, it reconciles, allocates at the same time, as long as your bank feed's good. And I use a modern bank; it's always 100% accurate. If you're getting errors, it's your bank. It's not.
So that was their latest episodes of Digital Trolls in a Cruel World. Put a pin on that because he's back. We're going to finally find out what they're committed to. As soon as I add him to the stage, I want him to continue seamlessly into what he's committed to. And then we'll talk about why Digital Tools in a Cruel World are on our bad books. Go for it, Johann.
So we're committed. We have committed as of the Fusion event last year to ensure that we maintain desktop and cloud. So our users at TaxCalc will have a choice of both products. Sorry, Chrome just decided, actually, I don't think you've given me permission to share your camera or microphone. Like, oh, I'm fairly sure I have. No. We want you to give more permissions. Sorry. It's going to be one of those days today.
It's been an amateur day of Ask the Accountant today, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Full of apologies. But so many people have just so many softwares have got it's one or the other. No one's really gone for a hybrid solution, which is possible in today's world. But yeah, anyway, what were you saying about Digitools and the Cruel Worlds? What have they done to upset you this time?
So I was bringing up I've called them out in terms of they calling me out. So they've told me I should get over myself. That was their phrase. I've got to get over myself about terminology. But no, I'm going to say this once and for all, Mr. Digital Tools or Digital Trolls in a Cruel World, as I like to call you now. I am not getting over myself. I will die on this hill. A reconciliation is a reconciliation. And it will always be a reconciliation. And I know my bookkeepers and accountants out there will join me in arms, and we'll fight this together, right? And there'll be oppositions over there. There'll be the odd splatter of people on the opposition that's trying to fight the Xero cause and everything else. But look, it's not a reconciliation by adding a transaction. It's a reconciliation when you go back to and look at the transaction and going from there. So what can I say? That's it. But yeah, they've called me out. I'm calling them out, and the fight is starting. Is there a chance at
the irony is they would Xero users called QuickBooks out for their use of tax wording and terminology in adverts.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, it suits you to call out terminology when it suits you, but when it doesn't, you like us all to get over it.
But I think the only way to answer this properly is there a chance that we could have some sort of boxing match or wrestling or, some opportunity to fight to the death once and for all on which one's right? Do we do what's
not
it called?
A hill I'm dying on, but I get
is
your
it
point.
fencing? Is that the one? Lightsaber duel? Smash Brothers tournament? I don't know. I'm putting the options out there, right, people? I'm gonna let the community decide which one they want. But I feel like at one of the events coming up, we need to have a Ask the Accountant versus the Digital Trolls in a Cruel World and figure out which one wins out of this debate, right? Like, which one is it that's going to win? Is it going to be, we call it reconciliation going forward, or do we have common sense and we call it what it's supposed to be? So we'll find out, and I'll let the community decide what we're gonna say from there. Anything you want to add to that one, Johann?
No, I mean, I agree, but then I willingly gave QuickBooks a hard time for you, saying we help you file your tax on a TV advert when all you did was file a VAT return. Your implication of tax implied you did everything, which was misleading. So
payroll as well, like give them that.
Yeah.
And CIS. But yeah, you're right. You are right. 100% right.
Yeah. So I do think we should be holding these companies to a higher standard to be more accurate within their wording and terminology, and not to let the marketing boffins get involved too much and get overly carried away with how we describe and do things. But yeah. So, have I missed any comments we need to go through? I can't see
I've
any
gone through all the
comments.
comments. I have.
Fine.
I've kept everyone up to date. We've all had a laugh at your expense.
Thank you. I've never known it. All of a sudden, Atlas Insta360, which is the camera software I use, all of a sudden wanted about 40 gigs worth of RAM between them. It's like, what?
It's time for you to. I've said it before. Mac Studio M4 Ultra is what you are lacking in your life. Like, what's it? $6,000 or something? Something along those lines.
Like on the ATA budget, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. That's the only fair way of doing it. Because isn't it Jordan Vickery? He's got one, hasn't he? He's got a Mac Studio. I think he's the only one in the accounting industry that I know.
Is he?
A Mac Studio. That's my I say claim to fame, but I can't claim out. Well, I just spotted it on a post once. I think we do need to start going around again. Where we had that period where we're going around showing everyone's battle stations. And we need an update of that just to see has anyone else got a Mac Studio. You know what I mean? Because maybe we're doing caricatures, aren't we? I don't know if you've jumped on that bandwagon yet.
I haven't. Well, I looked at it. What it came up with wasn't favourable, so it won't be going out in public.
Oh, that's even more entertaining. All right, community, let's try and figure out how bad AI got Johann's caricature.
No, but what I have seen is some very good, accurate ones, which is interesting. I'm not saying mine wasn't accurate. I'm just saying I can't show it in public.
How did you know I did that? That's only for my very loyal supporters who know about that part of my job.
I think it got a bit confused by the amount of different roles I have.
Yeah,
I thought it handled yours very well.
I was really impressed. Like, honestly, I was impressed with what it came through. I thought it looked cool.
But also, there is an environmental warning that needs to go along with this. For each character you're creating, it is 0.5, half a litre of fresh water consumed and enough energy to charge your phone up to 100% from noughts and stuff. So do it responsibly, shall we say, from the environment, okay?
Yeah.
Which is also why I didn't keep editing mine to try and get it to go right, because I knew how much consumption it was taking. So but yeah, no, what's caused the trend to go, because we had this trend a while ago.
We did.
And then what's caused it to happen again?
Because I went one step because we were creating little miniature versions of ourselves, weren't we? Action models, wasn't it? So I went one step further and got mine 3D printed. But yeah, I don't know what's got it. But we said at the time, though, last time it happened, this is a good thing, right? Because we're getting people to use the app.
Yeah.
Maybe you've never used it before. And I do feel bad because the wife sat there on Saturday night while we were watching TV, and she said, "Oh, look what I've done! I've made this amazing caricature." And I was like, "Oh God!" And I genuinely rolled my eyes, like, "Oh my, right, okay, right." And I even said, "Do you know how much water that's wasted?"
And then you did it anyway.
An hour later, I'm there building not one but 3 different caricatures. So I'm really sorry that I fell off it. But she wouldn't normally use ChatGPT. Like, it wouldn't be like her go-to. But the fact that she was like jumping on it and she's like, "Oh, and it's bringing them back around, and the amount of features since last time this trend, a trend like this was there, to what they've got now, like, so much more you can do, right?
As you said earlier, I use Fixer to help with my emails. Fixer is now an app in ChatGPT, so I can connect ChatGPT. So now, whenever I say to ChatGPT, so I don't generally draft from scratch in Fixer because it means going into Fixer. I've always got ChatGPT open, so I draft in there. Fixer auto drafts responses for me to emails I've received. If it's me sending the original email out and I just want to sharpen it up a bit, check it for spelling and grammar and stuff, I get ChatGPT to help me redraft it.
Yeah.
But now ChatGPT, so whenever I say, help me draft this email or reword this email into my voice and tone, ChatGPT doesn't just guess anymore based on its knowledge. It now looks at the 15,000 emails from Fixer and 3,000 responses that it's drafted to work out how to word that email for me. So what I now need is Claude to be an app in ChatGPT, so it can reference all the. Oh my God! I put that on silent.
We are on amateur hour at the Ask the Accountant HQ this day. Ask the Accountant Towers.
Where is?
You can't say no to a call these days, can you? I know I've got the same problem. No.
How do you hang up on a person on an Apple phone these days? You double tap and the blooming Apple Pay comes up.
Well, that's how you pay them, and then it stops them calling.
Oh dear, what a day already. It's only 25 past 9.
Yep.
But yeah, what I need now is Claude to be an app in ChatGPT, so it can reference all of my meetings, transcript. Like, imagine the power then.
I know.
That's going to be phenomenal.
And that connection is like new to this from what we had before, right? Now, if people are coming in and seeing those sort of connections, like mine that I used over the weekend, this week was HubSpot. We had a client come in and complain about their tax return being late, not late, but like to the last minute, like to the very last moment, right? And sometimes you take those things on, you go, oh, what's the team done? Like your initial reaction sometimes like, oh, but this time I didn't even have to even consider talking to the team. I just asked ChatGPT to go through HubSpot. It's got now 100,000 tickets at its disposal now. Like that's how many tickets are sat there, right? And it could go through, and it did a timeline of all of the interactions we had with this client, when the stuff was sent in, and all this and the other. And like it put this really good bit of evidence for me to then I could then go back to the client and be like, either, yep, you're absolutely spot on, we'll do better next time, or actually, you've got to take responsibility yourself, right? You know what I mean? Like, but without having, like, if I'd have done that personally, that'd have taken an hour or whatever the time frame is going to be, right? There's definitely, maybe I'm being quite,
Well, you probably wouldn't have done it, would you? You'd have just gone, oh, I'll just,
or maybe delegated it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this time it was one click, one little thing, go away and do it. Yeah, it may have taken 5 minutes to do it or something, but I was on a different task at the time. I wasn't sat there waiting for it to be done. Went off, it came back. I had all the information I need. I then, next team meeting, I said, look, the client said this. I've seen it, do. Anything you need to add? And the reply went to the client, like, within seconds, right? Of that being done, because it was so much easier to have those bits ticking and like bringing over. And if like a trend like this is bringing people back into ChatGPT and they're seeing these enhancements, then all on it. And I have seen a couple of others going like, well, my AI of choice produce this. And it's like, oh, great. Wow, you know what I mean? So we're on par, but we're not quite there, sort of thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's been really interesting watching socials go across with it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that brings us up to time. Aaron, what have you got on this week?
Oh, I've got one of the busiest Tuesdays of my life. Like literally, it's like a 4:30 get up, and I, by 6 o'clock, I think 6 p.m. I think I've finally done it, so I can then drive home again. So I'll be back home at like 9 o'clock. So yeah, like other than that Tuesday, it's keeping my head down, and I'm just doing a lot of building at the moment and trying to get new systems and processes in place so that we can have one nice singing dancing practice. What about yourself, Jan?
I'm on the road for most of the week, but yeah, it's very much a case of system improvements, team training. We're in that we're well and truly in that part of the VAT returns are done now. Now we need to crack on with some improvements. We've got to set ourselves up for the year ahead. I always look at 1st of February as the start of a new year.
Yep.
Myself and Jade, my operations manager, have lots of calls and meetings in the first week of February while people are doing VAT returns, and then we hit them with everything that's going to be improved and moved forwards this week, basically. So yeah,
love that.
Yeah, just lots of that going on, basically. Yeah, so it should be a good, productive week.
Maybe that should be a topic for our bonus show. Is what improvements we brought in February. Could be a good one. Could be a good one. So
we're spinning up new services, new value adds, everything. So it will be, it's going to be an interesting few months ahead for us.
Nice one. Nice.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you to all of our audience for joining us. Apologies for the technology delay. I mean, apparently I'm also going to replace my Mac Mini this week. Nothing else to do. Which, it wasn't planned or ideal, but hey ho, we'll have a look at that.
Studio.
No.
I can spend your money for you, Johann. Don't you worry.
The device that powers the studio part. It's in the name, right? Yeah. So thank you very much for everyone joining us. Thank you for sticking with us if you did stick with us during the technical faults. I promise we'll do better next week. There you go. That's my apology corner done. Start the show with an apology, end the show with an apology. That's always the best way.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's everything from me. So thank you very much. And we'll see you all same time, same place next week. Goodbye.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.